My Tech Partners. And we run principles in our business. We build our business on principles that I think could be valuable not only in a technology business, but in any type of business if you're trying to increase your sales or increase your revenue. So how many people actually went to school, you studied hard, and you have a degree? Yeah? And how many people have a master's degree? Okay, so I have 3 super smart people. You have a master's as well. Awesome. So how many people have a PhD though? Every time I ask this question, nobody ever has a PhD. One day, somebody's going to have a PhD. But here's what I'm going to do. Before you leave today, okay, I'm going to give you, 10 minutes, 8 minutes? I'm going to get, in 8 minutes, you're going to have your PhD. Okay? Is that cool? Yeah. You good with that? Now, one person in here already has his PhD. He heard this short speech last week. But when you leave, you're going to have a PhD. You good, Bo?
Ready to roll.
All right, let's do it. All right, so here we go. The P stands for psychology. Okay. Now, what is psychology, y'all? What is psychology? So,
the mind, the working with the mind.
Working with the study of the mind, right? And I like to refer to it as your mindset, right? It's how you think, really. So, don't you know that people who are uber successful think differently than those who are not? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I mean, they have a different mindset. They have a different set of rules. And in fact, a lot of times I think that they not only think differently, but they think the exact opposite. Okay? So, and I love to see the difference in successful salespeople and unsuccessful salespeople. You know, because when I first started working at Comcast, some of my colleagues, they would tell me, you don't need to go to any networking meetings. They don't work. They make you stand up and do an elevator pitch. You're not going to get any leads. Like, that's what they used to tell me all the time. And I said, well, let me just try it out, right? This was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I would go and I would meet great people and I would form relationships and nurture relationships. And I would start getting deals. But even better, I just started to grow as a person. And I realized they never hit quota either. Right? So, I mean, they weren't making money, they weren't happy. Of course, they didn't want to meet anybody, right? So that was the thing. So I realized that successful people just think differently. So one of my things is I'm always working on developing a growth mindset, right? And I want to hang around people who are successful. So one of my strategies when I worked at Comcast was, listen, I want to know who's making the most money, and I want to know what they're doing. But not only what they're doing, I want to know how they think. Okay, how do you think about this certain situation or this situation? Because that's going to help me develop a success consciousness. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's super important. So the P again stands for psychology. Okay, y'all got it?
Yes.
All right, now the H stands for hustle. Now, back when I was growing up, hustling had a negative connotation, right? We were talking about a drug deal or something back in the day. But now hustling has a very positive connotation. When you say, hey, every day I'm hustling, y'all remember that song?
It's a dance.
That's a dance?
Yes, it is.
Can you show it to us right quick? No, I'm just
joking.
I didn't know it was a dance. Okay. I thought it was just a song. Okay. But listen, y'all, every day I'm hustling. I'm sure y'all are too, right? I mean, we're out here, we're trying to get it, right? That's why we come to these meetings. That's why we make calls, we run appointments. We're trying to connect the dots. We're trying to make it happen. So hustling is key. And it's just work ethic, right? But what's key about work ethic is being consistent. Because you cannot go hard for one day and say, okay, where's my harvest, right? So, like, you have to be consistent every single day. So when I started my company, about 5 years ago, I said, listen, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of contacts or resources, but I do have work ethic, and I'm going in. So I used to work 8 to faint, y'all. I mean, I would wake up and just put in the work. And I joke with people, I tell them I work 9 days a week, 30 hours a day. Because I had no limitation. Because the thing is, when I worked at Comcast, it was like 8 to 5, right? And at 5 o'clock, boom, I'm done. Right? But, and people used to come into work complaining, I got work to do, but I'm not going to do it at home. I'm off, right? But listen, I said, when I started my company, I'm going to have an incredible work ethic. It's going to be unmatched, right? And I'm talking about, I would literally go home and faint. And I would wake back up and start working again. Because I knew that I had to have an edge to compete with people or companies who had more money than me, right? Or who had the marketing budget, or who had a sales team. So that was my thing. So work ethic, in my opinion, everybody should be known for your work ethic. You know, you should be known. That should be your brand. When people say your name, they should say, listen, I know they're dependable, they're responsible, and they put in the work. They're going to go to work for me as a client. So I think that's super important. And work ethic will outperform talent any day. Okay, you can have somebody that's super talented, but you give me somebody that knows how to work, I guarantee you the person who has a consistent work ethic will outperform the talented person. I don't need talented people. Y'all agree? Mm-hmm. We need people who know how to work because I can teach you. Talent comes over time. It's a skill set, all right? So the H again stands for what? Hustle. Okay, so let's review, all right? The P stands for psychology and the H stands for hustle. Now the D stands for discipline. So we have a principle in our business that we live by, we work to live by, and that is discipline pays dividends, okay? Discipline pays dividends. So when we start salespeople in our company, we put them on a 90-day regimen. So I just hired a sales guy 2 days ago. And my thing is, I'm trying to make you quit, okay? Because I want to know if you are ready, all right? Because our industry, I'm in technology, our industry requires that we make a lot of calls, we make a lot of follow-up calls, you got to be organized, you got to use your CRM, you have to be professional, you have to be on point and consistent, right? So we put our new salespeople through a 90-day regimen. It's called M90X. Now, if y'all ever heard of P90X? Mm-hmm. Right, it's like this 90-day program to get your body in shape, incredible results. Well, M90X is our plan to get your business in check or your sales funnel in check. So we want to build an incredible funnel, a healthy funnel. And we know exactly what we're going to be doing from a sales approach every single hour of the day. Okay, so from 8:30 to 10:30, prospecting. 10:30 to 12, follow up on emails or voicemails. 12 to 1 lunch, 1 to 3 follow-ups, 3 to 5 networking. So we know every single, now we may get off track at some point or there may be some emergency, something may come up, but we know how to get back on track. And it's that routine, it's that structure that really changes the game because most people are not disciplined. Any simple distraction will throw them off, right? So I think if there is a secret to success in building sales and building momentum in sales, it's in your routine. Because guess what? You're not as deep as you thought you were, right? You're not as motivated as you thought you were. You're not as smart as I know y'all got your degrees and everything, but you are not as deep as you thought you were. But if you have a routine, and you know every single day, here's what I'm going to do. Or even if it switches up, but on this day I'm doing this, on this day it's that. You're going to outperform people who don't have that focus and don't have that discipline. Okay? So I was so disciplined when I first started my company, my tech, that I wouldn't even take calls from my girlfriend, who's now my wife, by the way. But I wouldn't even take calls from her. And I would tell her up front, like, look, between 8:30 and 10:30, I'm prospecting. Please don't call me unless it's an emergency. And guess what she would do? She will call me, okay? And one time she calls me, and I'm like, I'm not answering. She called me back. I'm not answering. She called back again. It had to be an emergency, right? It wasn't. Right? Like, she's like, I just want to make sure you have a good day. I'm like, yo, I'm having a great day. Let's get off the phone, though. Right? So, because we got to get back. I was that disciplined, right? I would even tell myself some days, listen, I'm not eating until I set 3 appointments. Now listen, I don't recommend that, okay? But I'm telling you, I would play these little games with myself, right? But what it did is it strengthened my discipline muscle, okay? And now, I think I'm not where I want to be, but I'm at a point where much further than where I was, okay? And I'm not easily distracted, especially when I'm working within structure, okay? So again, the D stands for what, y'all? Discipline. All right, so we got psychology, hustle, and discipline, and now you have your PhD. So if you apply those principles to your business, I guarantee you it's going to help somehow, some way, all right? That's my time, y'all. I appreciate it.